I got these questions too, not a lot, but sometimes people ask me this question. And I think the most important thing is, as a parents, we need to practice what we preach, right? I like to hear that. For me, that's music in my ears because what? So inshallah, next year you're going to be the teacher. So there is an interesting story because of the name of the masjid. I rarely told this to people, but since you asked me the question,
so this is exclusive here.
And this is
Pak Eka gonna share this story exclusive for you.
And then, Indonesian people are fairly well known of smiling people.
Smiling people.
We smile all the time, even though inside we're angry. Investing in stock can be deemed halal.
Okay.
If the stock fulfill a couple of criteria.
Alright. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, bros and sis. My name is Rio from Houston, Texas. Welcome to my channel Bapak Zaman Now. What is Bapak Zaman Now? Well, for us Indonesian, basically that's how you saying for like a dad or a papi like me. We call Bapak, Zaman is era, and now is now. So basically, a dad like me who live in this millennium era. That's why we call it Bapak Zaman Now.
Okay.
So our segment today, we are going to chat with someone that just elected by the board of director in the Indonesian American Islamic Committee, or in shortened as we call IAMC, as the president for period 2021 to 2022. Pak Eka Kristanto.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. How are you, Pak Eka?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. First of all, I want to congrats for your new task, Pak Eka. Maybe you have a message from the previous board of director from them.
It's like like the U.S. president who leaves a note to the next administration.
Yeah, something like that.
You don't usually leave a note in terms of writing, but of course we meet and then we talk and we discuss. So basically, the mutual agreement is to to improve what's program that had been going on. And then do something that is not yet done by the previous administration. Okay.
And how you see the program that has been done from the previous
administration? Yeah, they did I guess they looks like focused on physical development.
Okay.
Because the parking lot.
Okay.
And the pond over there. And then improving the land. It's really important, the parking lot, because
the parking lot. Okay.
Even if we have the masjid, it's masjid now, it's temporary, but alhamdulillah it's already good. Yeah. But if the parking lot is bad, nobody wants to come.
Oh,
and you know what happened right before we have this new parking lot.
Yes.
Just a little bit of rain, then it's turning into mud of field. So it's bad. But alhamdulillah, it's good now.
Okay. So before we gonna get into the Masjid IMC, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Pak? Where are you from in Indonesia, and when you start migrating to the United States, and if you have any special purpose why you try to go to United States?
I am or was from Makasar,
Makasar,
South Sulawesi.
Okay.
I was born there and I grew up there until my high school. And then I moved or went to Surabaya to finish my college.
Oh, you went to Surabaya for college?
Yeah,
okay.
Finished my college there when I met my wife. And then after that I moved to Jakarta to work over there, and then I went to Michigan, United States to continue my education. And then after working for a while in Michigan, then I moved to Texas. I'm in Houston.
Oh.
So I moved here around 2009 because I like the weather. I mean, it's like Indonesia. Michigan is too cold.
Too cold.
Especially when you grow old.
Okay.
I mean, to me, snow, it's pretty when it first, arrives.
Yeah.
But after a while, it's bad.
It's dirty, right?
Dirty, it's bad, it's cold. So, no. I don't miss snow.
Okay. Yeah. Since we are in Masjid right now, when did you start actually doing? I know that you also a teacher, doing with the Saturday school, and then when did you start doing the education for or Islamic activity or dakwah basically? more specifically in the Indonesian community here in Houston?
Well, when I was involved in organization as a general,
Okay.
since my early age.
Oh, okay.
I joined the, what do they call it here? Scout movement.
Scout movement.
Yeah, and my I guess what is it? SD, the elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
There they teach us everything. And then since middle school till high school and till college, I always involved in the student organization. But what introduced me to the Islamic da'wah is when in college in Surabaya.
Okay.
I joined IAMC. What is it? Islamic Student Organization.
Correct. Yeah.
For college students.
Yes.
And that's where I got involved in the da'wah.
Oh, okay.
And then when I moved here,
Mm-hmm.
I joined IMSA, Indonesian
Muslim.
Muslim Society in America.
Okay.
And through IMSA, I get to know many people from other states in U.S. or even in Canada. When I moved here, it's I don't really start from scratch because I already know people.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved here, I moved here and then start running because of that too. Also because I've been involved in da'wah activities through IMSA, which is practically through all the Indonesian people around North America.
So basically, as a parent, that I started to know you since the end of 2011 when I put my daughter in the Islamic school every Saturday. At the time, inside the building of the Consulate General of Indonesia. Maybe just want to know who is actually the founder of the Islamic school at the time, and what is the reason basically the group initiated to opening Saturday school.
Mm-hmm. So when I moved to Houston,
Mm-hmm.
it was on 2009.
Okay.
The school, the Islamic school, or we call it IQS,
IQS.
Indonesian Quranic School.
Okay.
But now, since we moved into Istiqlal, we would like to call it Istiqlal.
Istiqlal.
We don't change the name; we just use the abbreviation.
Okay.
I did not know all of the founder.
Okay.
But I know some of them. I know Pak Archandra.
Pak Archandra.
I know
Okay.
Pak Sulfan.
Pak Zulfan.
I know Pak Pohan.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sure there are more
Mhm.
people who I don't know who are the founder of the.
But they are the
IQS.
earlier.
They are the founder.
The
I
founders.
guess.
Okay.
So when I came here, the school's already there, and then like a year after I moved here, then they asked me to be the principal. So
Mm-hmm.
so I joined. But before principal, I think I joined them as a teacher.
Just wondering that you are basically still active now, teaching the kids.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So I've been involving in the school since 2010.
2010.
And then now 2020.
2020.
It's about 10 years.
More than a decade.
Yeah, about 10 years. I still teach. But now because of the pandemic, they move all the activities online, right?
Yes.
So I teach online, which is I think there's a plus and minus.
Okay.
But the plus side is that I have more time
Mm-hmm.
to teach the kids, and if there is a kids that or a student that needs special attention, then I can do that because it's online practically,
Okay.
and we have unlimited time.
So we know the works of the teacher and activists basically is on voluntary basis.
Okay.
So, and most of you guys also works basically and doing other main activities, and you also a family man, and since you are busy all week with works activity, not to mention time with the family, but you and other volunteer put extra effort teaching these kids to learn Quran and Islamic knowledge every Saturday consistently for what, like more than a decade already. So for a lot of parents or maybe regular people, they're gonna say, why Pak Eka?
Yeah, and then I got these questions too, not a lot, but sometimes people ask me this question, especially for those who just embrace
Correct.
Islam.
Yeah.
And then because for them it doesn't make sense, you know. I mean, you work on volunteer basis, you know. You don't get paid, yet you spend your time here. You know, on the surface, when you see us here, you see us here only what, like from 11 to 2,
Correct.
maybe 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
But the preparation behind that takes hours,
Really.
especially when you have to prepare for a slide.
Yeah.
Because you want to make it interesting, right? Because otherwise the student get bored.
Correct.
They already go to school, you know, Monday to Friday, and then now Saturday they, you know, their parents wants them to learn again. So
Yes.
you have to make them, you know, to make the things cool and fun. But it takes a lot of preparation. But if you want to look at it further, you know, according to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, right? There are 3 activities that even when you pass away, you are not already, you know, in this world. The reward or the ajr or the reward still comes, still flows.
Correct.
And one of them is teaching an important knowledge or teaching a good knowledge. And what's better than teaching, you know, Islamic knowledge?
Correct.
The kids. I think for me personally, that what gets me going till, you know, 10 years and running, inshallah.
Inshallah. Right now, you are being the president of IAMC. So, and you have all daily activities doing all stuff in the masjid. What do you do in your spare time, Pak? And then on your own, like a hobbies or with the families?
Before, I like to play tennis.
Oh, okay.
But after I broke my collarbone, so I'm you know, no longer play tennis. I'm afraid to play tennis now because you feel like, you know, every time I hit the ball, I think you know, I'm gonna break my bone again. So I stopped playing tennis.
Okay.
So right now I you know, just joined this you know, routine, you know, halaqah online.
Okay.
Or on the Masjid, and also do the, you know, the house you know, chores. Especially I like this doing the you know, clean the dishes manually because I like the feels of you know, warm water flows to my hand.
Okay.
That's why, you know, like I can stand there like hours just to do the dishes. But yeah, that's what I do mainly.
What Pak Eka told about that halakha. So for bros and sis that want to see it every weekend, we have that program, ya Pak.
Yeah.
Doing the halakha with Imam
Sheikh Hossam.
Sheikh Hossam every Saturday and Sunday. We're gonna give you also the Facebook link probably.
Friday night too.
And Friday night too. So 3 days in a week.
Yeah.
In a week. So that's, you can take advantage, and by following the IAMC Houston Facebook, I'm gonna put it down here. You can able to follow it. And then we're gonna go to you again, Pak Eka. Yourself had 2 sons, Angga and
Faiz.
Faiz.
Yeah.
So, and they already achieved education here in United States until college and even more probably, right?
Yeah.
And then for me, basically, also as a parent, I have a question for you. How you raise them with 3 elements: Indonesian culture, religion, and of course the American way, because they were born here in the United States.
You know, a lot of people asking this question, and I know the objective of them to ask this question is to see whether they can have a model that they can use it themselves. But it's difficult, right? Because, you know, everybody have different purpose.
Correct.
And, you know, kids have different, you know, circumstances and all. But for me, well, anyway, my youngest son was born in Indonesia, but we brought him here when he was, you know, 1.5 years old.
I see.
My youngest one were born here in Michigan.
Okay.
It's difficult to you know, to filter things that we don't like, because they're not like a machine, right? And we can just, you know, turn the switch on and off.
Yeah.
They will experience this throughout their life. So for me, and I agree this with my wife, that the most important things is to give them education.
Education.
You know, send them to, you know, Islamic school or at least weekend school very early at their age.
Okay.
And I think the most important thing is, as a parents, we need to practice what we preach, right?
That's
We
the most
send them
difficult.
to Islamic school, so we need to show them. We need to practice the Islamic teaching ourselves, and we need to show them that Islam or Islamic teaching is the most important things in our life, because kids they learn by seeing,
Correct.
especially at early age.
Yeah.
So if they see that, okay, this is really important in my parents' life, so I better make this important in my life too.
Okay.
So give a basic good education of Islam, and then pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala that Allah guide their lives. Because once the kids, it's, for example, if they go to college, they move out from your house. That's it. I mean, you have no longer control for them. See, one thing I always believe, and I think this is backed up by research, that if you give them a good education, if you implant this filter in their heads, when they grow up, and God forbid if they go stray, for example, they will inshallah come back, because they already have this in their mind.
Okay.
They will, especially when they remember their happy times, praying with their mom or their dad, their happy times, during Ramadan. They will remember that.
Okay.
I read this somewhere in the paper of you're familiar with the Happy Meals in McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
They distribute what is it, toys to
Yes.
the kids.
Yes.
There was a research behind it.
Oh. Okay.
So, they say that, if, of course, when kids get that, they will be very happy, right?
Yes.
And this happy memory, will stays in their mind.
Okay.
So when they grow up, they would like to have that happy memory and give the happy time to their kids. They always come back to McDonald's for their kids.
Okay.
You could see like 3-4 generation always come back to McDonald's, for that same thing.
Wow.
So I guess for our kids, if they experience happiness in practicing Islam in their life early on, they will remember
not
that,
go nowhere.
and
just
they will not stray far. They will
Okay.
come back because of the happy memory.
Inshallah. So now, Pak Eka, we knew that you are a teacher here, but it's not only you, because also your wife, Ibu Lisa, is very active teaching young kids voluntary basis too. And then it is like you both have the same mission and vision. Like, how do you keep your legacy alive, you and your wife both, through the next generation, from the value that you and your wife have?
I've already said before that for us, teaching is the best way to preserve Islamic knowledge. Is the best way to introduce Islamic knowledge to the kids. And if we can convince other people, other parents, and not only parents but the children who go through the system, hopefully when they grow up, they see the value of it.
Okay.
And then they will participate to teach also.
Okay.
I can already see this, some of second generation. I mean, not yet in teaching, but as a teacher assistant, and
Okay.
also help in the admin, day to day
Okay.
in a school. So alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Because us that here in the Indonesian community in Houston, we don't want like Pak Eka, Ibu Lisa, and the rest of the volunteer is already put extra efforts and time to keep this knowledge of Islam in the community alive, and we hope that it's gonna continue until the next generation, and so on.
I like to hear that. For me, that's music in my ears, because So inshallah, next year you're going to be the teacher?
At the moment, I'm still learning, yeah, but hopefully one day.
So inshallah.
I knew that the Islamic school is currently held here in Masjid Istiqlal, Pak Eka, every Saturday. But before, we knew the activities were held in the Musala, smaller place, which is inside the consulate. Now, is there any connection from the Islamic school in the consulate and the initiative of our community buying the masjid here in Sugarland?
Well, when we have our activities in consulate, especially when it relates to the religious activities like the Islamic school and the halakha and on, we knew back then that this is not going to be forever, because consulate is not meant for that.
Okay.
Consulate is an office with good heart that they allow us to use their facility, but it's not going to be forever.
Correct.
So we knew this. That's why we put all our effort to buy our own place where we can do activities here. And then we know that we own the place, so we can do whatever we want to do.
Okay.
In this place, yeah.
This masjid, Pak, is actually Sugarland, Pak. But we only always know that IMC Houston, but we think about Houston or Sugarland.
No, we use Houston because everybody knows Houston. Right? when they hear Houston, they associate Houston with this, the NASA.
Right. So before there is Masjid Istiqlal, few people created IMC, Pak. So can you share the background why we need IMC, and who was the founding father of IMC?
So IMC was established mainly to support our effort to build masjid.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then as time goes, then it evolved into supporting all other activities within our community. As for the founding fathers, there are a lot of them. So I'm not going to mention name, because if I mention one name and I forget to mention any names, then people will get mad at me. But a lot of them. Some of them had already moved back to Indonesia.
Oh, okay.
Some of them already passed away.
No.
But I think the majority of them are still here.
Oh, okay. We've been talking about Masjid Istiqlal, and Masjid Istiqlal. Maybe a lot of bros and sis never know what is actually Istiqlal and why we named it Istiqlal. Maybe Pak Eka can tell the story, the background story of it.
That's interesting, because once we decided to establish the masjid, right? Then naturally comes the next question: what's the name of the masjid? So we tried to come up with with names by ourselves, but nobody agreed on anything. So we said, okay, let's do it this way. Let's have a contest.
Oh, okay.
So we asked a lot of people from here, from US. And we asked a lot of people from Indonesia.
Okay.
We tell them our plan, and we said, okay, come up with a good name for the masjid. And then once all the answer came back to us, and then we tally the votes, and Istiqlal got the most votes.
Okay.
And then we like Istiqlal too, so why not? We have Istiqlal, and Alhamdulillah, I think Istiqlal is an icon in Indonesia, right?
Okay.
So when people who are familiar with Indonesia, and when they mention masjid, I think automatically what comes to their mind is Masjid Istiqlal, especially for foreigner.
Okay.
So there is an interesting story because of the name of the masjid. There is this person, Turkish. He went to Aceh to teach in Turkish school over there.
Oh, okay.
So he stayed in Indonesia for a couple of years, and then one day during his vacation, he visited Houston because his brother is here. So once in here, he asked, "Okay, take me to the Indonesian Masjid." And this was very new. It was at the same year, 2015, because we opened the masjid 2015, right?
Okay.
Either 2015 or 2016. It was fairly new. Nobody knows about Istiqlal yet. So his brother said, "There is no Indonesian masjid here." There is no Indonesian masjid. And then his brother said, "Okay, let's look at all the masjid in Google." They tried to Google, and then they see Istiqlal. And then his brother said, "This is it. Bring me there." He said, "How do you know?" I said, "Don't ask me question. Bring me there." So it just happened. When he came here, we had a halakha. So he came here. He said, "Assalamu alaikum." They joined us and etc. And then because we knew from his physique, right, that he's not Indonesian, so we had to question. And then it happens that he can speak Indonesian a little.
Okay. Wow.
And he told us his story. It was very funny. It was very funny. It's spot on. Istiqlal, Indonesia. That's it.
What we see right now, the masjid is really nice with all the development and the renovation and everything. But maybe people didn't know what is actually the challenge before the masjid was bought. Mungkin Pak Eka can share the story.
Well, the challenge, first is to come to agreement that we need to build a masjid. That's the first challenge. And to tell you the truth, we had numerous meetings, and it's very hard to convince everybody that we need to have our own masjid. Because then they think, hey, masjid in Houston nowadays it's about 100 masjids, big and small.
100 masjid
at that time 2012, and 2012 it was already maybe in the 70, 75, 70, 80s of masjid. So people say, hey, there are a lot of masjid. You just want to pray, why don't you just pray to one of them? Building masjid is not cheap.
Correct.
And then we said, okay, look, we say we want to build a masjid, not just for the masjid. First of all, as I said before, that we need a place, other than Konjen to do our activities, because we know that's not forever, right?
Correct.
And then secondly, what we want is we want not just masjid, we want a complex where we can teach our children not just Islamic teaching, but we can introduce them to Indonesian culture. In order to do that, we have to have our own place. I mean, you cannot do that in another masjid.
Correct.
So, once they understand this, they say, okay, we understand the reason. We support you. Let's go. So then comes the money.
That's the most.
We are talking about millions.
Yes.
And not million rupiah.
And
$1 million. So Alhamdulillah, everybody have a high spirit. So within 2000, we started collecting money in 2012, and we got the money in 2015. So in 3 years. We managed to collect 1 million, around 1.5 million.
1.5 million in 3 years. Bros and sis. Wow.
So Alhamdulillah. So at that time, there are a lot of Indonesian here who works in the oil industry, right?
Okay.
And then the oil is still booming. So money, it's still abundance back there. But right now it's a different story. Well, I'm going to tell you also an interesting story, because I rarely told this to people, but since you asked me that question,
so this is exclusive here.
And this is
Pak Eka gonna share this story exclusive for you.
What happened. Okay. So this location here is not the first location. This is the third location.
The third location. Okay.
So the first location is not far away from here. We already purchased. We already signed a contract. I think we already paid a down payment. I think. Oh no. We already own the land. We already purchased the land.
Okay.
Yeah. This masjid now is, I think, 5.5 acre.
Okay.
That land over there that we purchased, I think it's a little bit bigger. It's like 6 or 7 acres.
Okay.
But it's just land, no building. Yeah. We purchased it on Ramadan, and 2 weeks after that, another Muslim community purchased a land which is right behind our land. So we share the fence, we share the border.
It's gonna be competitor.
We did not know yet at that time, right?
Okay.
So when we wanted to build the masjid, naturally we go to our neighbor masjid. We go over there. We say, okay, we introduce ourselves. We say we want to do this and that.
Yeah.
We went to one masjid. They say, okay, alhamdulillah, we support you. And then we go to the next masjid, and they said, wait a minute, where are you going to build your masjid? I said, okay, there's going to be a problem. So we open the map, and they said, okay, we want to build it here. And they said, we just purchased a land here. So you also want to build a masjid. And then we said, okay, two masjid next to each other is not going to be good, right?
Yes.
And then we look at their community. They already more established than us. Because we just new here.
Yes.
And they have more established community. They already have they're renting the room, but they already have their school established. So we said to them, okay, why don't you purchase our land? We're gonna move.
Oh, so we offer them to purchase our land.
You offer us to purchase the land. You can, you have 1 year to, to pay it up, of course, without interest. And they thank us for that. So now they have a big land over there. They purchase it, and then that's the first one, right?
Okay.
And then the second one we got. The second one, this is really devastating to us, to me personally.
Okay.
What happened? We found an empty land, believe it or not, just off of Highway 9, Highway 8, Highway 6. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Highway 6 and Old Richmond.
Yeah.
Where they have this the plants store. They have store that has sells, trees and all.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Behind that, there is 21 acres.
Wow,
empty.
that's even like triple that we had in the first one.
And then we contacted the person. They agreed to sell us 7 acre.
Oh, okay.
But at the very back of their land. And then we asked them, okay, what are they going to do for the rest of the land? And they said they didn't know what to do with it there. So we said, okay, why don't we try to find a developer who wants to develop the land? And we found a developer who wanted to develop, the land, want to build housing, and they already come up with a rough sketch of what housing type, how many houses. I think it was 60 or 70, house, big and small over there. And then we were very happy because all of the Masjid committee sit there and surround around the map, and they say, okay, this is gonna be my house. This is gonna be my house. So
that's a perfect situation.
15, 20 spot already taken by the committees. And then the rest we said, hey, if we have a big masjid, we will have no difficulty selling it.
Yeah.
We're very happy. But the problem is this 21 acres land owned by 7 people. This is inheritance.
Oh, okay.
And not everybody agreed to sell
Agreed.
it. So they even went to the court.
Oh.
Those guys who wants to sell, they went to the court. They say we want to sell it, but
the other members
can't do anything. Yeah. So at the end, they said no. Because we already make an agreement with you for the 7 acres, you want to buy that, you buy that, but the rest is not.
Okay.
And I said, how are you going to buy it if you don't have any entrance or way to get in and out? Because it's the very back of the land, right?
Yes.
It's going to be difficult. So we said, okay. We then one night we decided, okay, that's it. Yes, we are going to we are not going to move forward with the purchase of this land. And then we say, okay, tonight we decided we are going to stop, the effort to purchase the land there. So the next morning, after the next morning, and this is going to get interesting. The next morning, just by accident, I look at online. I said, okay, I type in church for sale.
Okay.
And then come up a list of church for sale, and then this is the first list.
Oh, this is the first list.
This was. We are sitting now. It was a church before.
Okay.
So this is the first list, and it's just the first list on the first day today. I mean that day.
Okay.
They asked for 1.25 with everything, the building and all.
Oh, okay.
So right away we call, we call our, we call one of the committee member who is the realtor and said submit an offer. So we submit an offer, that morning, and then they accept the offer, and then they accept the offer, but then they come back with the term, right? Okay, they want this and that. What we want is we wanted to to be given like a year time.
Okay.
And we want to pay smaller down payment. Okay, this is what this is the most interesting thing, which I call this miracle.
Miracle. Okay.
Well, we discussed this with the what do you call the pastor?
The priest. Yeah.
The priest. We discussed with the priest, with all of them, right? Because we go back and forth, and we thought we knowing a big church, mega church from Chicago.
Oh.
Okay,
what about
their priest called this, the priest here.
They
called them directly. They said, "Hey, you want 1.25, right? If you sell it to me, I give you 1.5.
Wow.
Cash, right? And we're still negotiating. We say, okay, give us a time, give us 1 year, and then so on and so on. This is why I call miracle.
Regular people gonna go, okay, it's cash.
You know what?
And it's more money.
What the priest here said? He said, okay, thank you for your offer, but right now we are dealing with this Indonesian group, and then if the deal didn't get through, I'll get back to you. And how easy it is to break the deal. It's easy.
Yeah.
They just
everything is better over there.
They just say, okay, I can give you what you asked.
Yes,
you asked.
yes.
That's it. And they gave 1.5 million.
Yes.
But no.
Mashallah.
The priest still engaged with us, and he knew from very beginning. We told them when we first saw this, we are going to turn this into mosque, and still we went through until alhamdulillah we got it.
Wow.
So the lesson that we learn from this. Okay, if you really want it, and in this case, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, tried us. The first time failed.
Yeah.
The second time failed. I mean, if we are not serious, then we say, okay, we gave up.
Yeah.
But we're serious. We should follow through. So if you're serious enough, and then and Allah Subhanahu wa Taala at the end will help you. And this is the help from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. It's a miracle. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's a miracle.
What you call it? It's not miracle. It's a miracle.
No one gonna.
Yeah. Who would deny $250,000? $250,000.
That's really an interesting story.
And not everybody knows this story. But now,
many
people know now.
more people know now. So now we're talking about the priest. So for us also in Masjid, in a church, they need to have a priest to have a church. And for Masjid, we need to have an imam, Pak.
Yeah.
Now, do we Masjid Istiqlal have a assigned imam in our masjid? And if yes, how actually the committee works to recruit imam in our masjid?
When we are talking about imam, usually we're talking about two things, right? The person who leads the prayer,
okay,
we call also an imam, and that same person also lead us or guide us through all of the activities that we do here.
Yeah.
So in terms of leading the prayer, yeah, we have an imam.
Okay.
We have an imam. But in terms of guiding or leading the activities, we don't have quote unquote imam, but we have an official imam, person who we can always consult.
Oh, okay.
Especially to see, if we want to do the activities, whether this is Sharia complaint or not.
Okay.
We have that, and fortunately for us, we have more than one person to consult with. So at the moment we are okay, although in the long run we still want to have an imam.
Oh, okay.
So that the imam can lead all of the activities, and that will free up the committee members to focus on more challenging things.
So basically, Masjid Istiqlal still open for vacancy for imam, basically, if you can say that, Pak.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. If anybody of you wants to be an imam, and
Please contact.
especially voluntary imam,
Voluntary basis. Okay, you can
be
contact.
our guest.
Masjid Istiqlal was born majority by Indonesian community,
Yeah.
and who is based in US at the time, probably majority. I see Masjid Istiqlal has many people visiting from many different culture, background, and country joining the masjid activities. What do you think the positive value of our masjid that made them happy and keep coming back to support the Masjid Istiqlal?
I talked to them about this, but a more direct answer is when you look at the Google review, like
Okay.
you go to Google,
Google
Masjid Istiqlal and you see the review.
Yeah.
They say it's clean masjid.
It's clean
And they
masjid.
say people is friendly,
Vehicle.
and they say people adhere to sunnah.
Okay.
But I think that's part of the answer, and apart from that, also, as I said before, that they found us friendly in terms of we have low profile. We don't like fighting. We don't like quarrel. Indonesian people are fairly well known of smiling people.
Smiling people.
We smile all the time, even though inside we're angry. But
That's the character of Indonesian. He likes to smile.
so I guess they like that, and then most of all we are welcoming.
Okay.
We don't judge people. They come here, they want to pray with big smile. We say, hey, welcome, and pray, and then apparently people like that.
Okay.
And we don't have politics here in the masjid.
No politics in masjid.
That's the most important thing. So people feel very comfortable, praying here.
Okay. For bros and sis who doesn't know that, basically every Saturday, if you wanna have Indonesian food, culinary, we have ibu-ibu, yeah, all the ladies that's selling food, so you can come here praying and you can taste the culinary from the Indonesian dish, and pretty authentic, yeah, Pak.
Right?
So you have a double treatment when you come.
Yeah, and also, but not now, not during pandemic,
Yeah.
but before pandemic, during Ramadan we have iftar every day.
Oh, iftar.
So this Ramadan probably not. We are still within pandemic, but hopefully next Ramadan we can have iftar.
Oh, inshallah. Since we are in Houston, you said before that we have maybe now it's hundreds masjid in Houston and surrounding area. So how is the atmosphere basically between Masjid Istiqlal and the other masjid in Houston, specifically in Texas or US in general? Are there any monthly meetup or visits to build and maintain communication between the masjid?
We are not aware if there is such a program or activities, but what we do with masjid, our neighbor masjid, we maintain a personal communication with them. If there is a big news or good news or bad news, we always consult with them and see what they think, what they're doing, so we can coordinate things like that. As far as us with the ISGH, big, I think biggest Islamic organization in Houston. From time to time, we ask them help with the at that time, not right now. We have our own khatib for Jummah.
Okay.
But at the time when we were new, we asked their help to give us their khatib, and alhamdulillah, they help.
Okay.
So I think relation between masjid is alhamdulillah is very good.
So now for bros and sis just knows about Masjid Istiqlal, maybe wants to know, Pak, is there any regular program that Masjid Istiqlal have for weekly, monthly, or annually, probably, so as a consideration for them? Oh, maybe you want to visit Masjid Istiqlal, but what is that program?
So we have already discussed about the weekend school, right?
Mhm.
Some weekend
Yeah.
school. So we have that every Saturday.
Every
We
Saturday.
have that. Now it's during this pandemic time we move online,
Mhm.
but we have it every Saturday.
Okay.
And then also every week we have halaqah.
Halakha.
Friday night after Isha,
Mhm.
and then that's for the general halaqah.
Okay.
And then Saturday morning after Fajr,
Mhm.
we have halaqah on hadith, so we discuss hadith.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then Sunday morning after Fajr,
Mhm.
we have tahsin al-Quran, when we learn how to read Quran.
How to read Quran.
Yeah, we have a sheikh who correct our
Okay.
reading.
Mhm.
And after that we have tafsir Quran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where we learn not sheikh will give the tafsir, and then
Mm.
we learn from him.
Okay.
So that's and then also of course we have Ramadan. We have
Ramadan,
iftar
that's an
after
annual.
Ramadan,
Mhm.
and then we have Eid prayer.
Eid prayer.
So what unique about us is that our Eid prayer, we have it outside in the Masjid yard.
Mhm.
Alhamdulillah, we
Okay.
have that. And what else? Oh, we have in terms of club, we have karate clubs.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have bicycling clubs.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
we have
and,
two sports clubs in Masjid
Yeah.
Istiqlal if you want to join bicycling and karate. But all right, so now, like any other non-profit organization, have to run the program and for the community, like it or not, we need funder or money to run it, and need donation to keep the operation running. How does IMC gain the funds to support the programs, Pak?
Yeah. First of all, the funding from the donation box.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah. It's from donation box and from PayPal.
PayPal. Okay.
Alhamdulillah, it's good for daily operation of the masjid.
Mhm.
And also we have this app, what we call Istiqlal app.
Istiqlal app,
Yes,
and
yes.
that is on both any application, Apple
Yeah, both
Store,
from Apple and Android.
Android.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can download them for any of them, and through this app. And this is, I'm really glad we have this app.
Mm.
This is internal app made by our own Jamaah.
Okay.
So if you're interested in this app, let us know.
Mhm.
Through this app, you can practically communicate to anybody around the world.
Mm.
So if we do fundraising through this app, subhanallah, the response was very good.
Oh, okay.
Because you can reach everybody around the world
Oh.
using this app.
Nice.
So it's been very good. There's one other things which is we are talking about fundraising effort, right?
Oh, okay.
Through the Investiclub.
Investiclub.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because-
This is interesting. Investiclub. So
This
it
is-
basically it's like investment for Istiqlal, Pak?
Investiclub, yeah.
Investiclub.
This is a new program, and this is like, in short, this is stock trading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we know that stock trading is a gray area. Yeah. So before we even embark to this effort,
Mhm.
we consult with some scholar,
Okay.
a well-known scholar in
Mhm.
Houston, and basically, to cut the story short,
Mhm.
basically they said that okay, investing in stock can be deemed halal
Okay.
if the stock fulfill a couple of criteria.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And so based on this, so we now have this new program where we call Investiclub,
Investiclub.
and we are making sure and really, really careful every 2 or 3 months.
Mhm.
We review all the stocks to make sure that the stocks are all compliant.
Oh, okay.
And alhamdulillah, the result is really, really good, and we had a high hope that this new revenue can be sustained.
Okay.
And inshallah, it's going to be good for us.
Okay. So next, probably actually want to ask about that the program for 2021.
Basically, the program that we would like to do is focus on 4 areas.
Okay.
To prepare for the next leader, to do outreach and do community bonding to prepare for Jama'ah. So we have the leader, we have the Jama'ah.
Okay.
And then, of course, we are going to still focus on fundraising because we still want to build the masjid. The fourth is that we, because as more Jama'ah come here, some of them are mu'allaf.
Oh, okay.
And we want to do mu'allaf support for mu'allaf.
Oh, support for mu'allaf.
So we are going to focus on these 4 areas.
Oh, okay.
To do our activities.
Wow, this is a pretty interesting information for all the program that we're gonna go for 2021, Pak. I know. Maybe there is a connection with my next question. There's another movement they called Athena under Pak Yusri, that and the group which is activity based on the halal trading in stock market, and the impacts basically is gonna be big toward Masjid Istiqlal future, especially for funding. It can be more independent. Is that what you're trying to say? Right?
Yeah. So this is related to Istiqlal, but Athena is a company.
It's a company.
It's an independent company. It's no relation with the masjid.
Okay.
But runs by our Jama'ah.
Oh, okay.
And then we asked them to manage this Istiqlal program, because Istiqlal program, the director of Istiqlal program is Pak Yusuf. He's also the president of Athena. But just to make sure that to let everybody know that the money that we put into Istiqlal is not the masjid money.
Oh, okay.
It's not the donation for the masjid and we take it and put in Istiqlal.
Oh, okay.
No,
That's separate.
So
It has
this
to be
is
clear.
special. It's also donation.
Yeah.
But people who donated, they specifically said, okay, this is for Istiqlal.
Oh,
It's
so
not for the masjid,
specifically
for
saying,
Istiqlal.
okay.
Because they realize that when you invest the money, there is a possibility that you're going to lose the money.
Yeah.
So they know that possibility.
Okay.
So just to make sure.
Okay. So it's all
everybody
pretty clear.
understand.
Yeah.
This is not the masjid money.
That's important. So now, since we're talking about trying to reach more Jama'ah, what is the media platform that IMC group using to reach out the community right now?
We use all sort of the media social.
Okay.
To start with, we have our own apps, which is the Istiqlal apps.
Istiqlal apps.
We use it to communicate our program to Jama'ah. We use it to fundraise. But now we use also Zoom to run the activities.
Okay.
And then besides that, we have Facebook.
Okay.
And then we have WhatsApp.
WhatsApp too?
We have Instagram, but it's not active.
Not active yet.
We'll probably, inshallah, we'll make it.
And YouTube channel probably, Pak.
We have YouTube channel too, but it's not active too.
There's a 2 more project that is anyone want to try to volunteer can join.
Sure. If you want to manage it,
the social media manager.
Yeah, let us know.
I understand that this organization built for Islamic community. Does this organization is also involved with the other parts of activity in general, like do charity even with other interfaith or regular non-profit organization for Houston and surrounding, Pak?
Now and then we have program together with especially the refugee organization.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of refugee here that also need helps. We don't have any activities yet regarding interfaith activities. That's pretty much it as far as our relation with other organizations. Inshallah, once we establish ourselves, then we'll start looking out.
We asking prayer from our bros and sis. Hopefully, Masjid Istiqlal is going to grow bigger and bigger, so it can be contribute positively more to the Houston community. Amen. So, Pak, maybe this is could be the last one. As the new president of IMC, do you have anything that you want to say to our bros and sis who might be as a member of Masjid Istiqlal, future member, Indonesian people back home in Indonesia, and the people of Houston or surrounding area in general?
Oh yes, of course. Okay, first, to the people whether within the United States or outside the United States, who wants to move to other states, move to Houston.
Move to Houston.
Yeah, Houston is a big city. It has very, vibrant economy, and the most important of all, we have, Indonesian Masjid.
Indonesian Masjid is here.
Yes. So that's one. And then to the people of Houston, now since we already have a masjid, so it's not only the responsibility of the masjid caretaker to create a program so that you can bring people to the masjid, but it's also your responsibility as Muslim, as an Indonesian Muslim, to come to the masjid. Coming to the masjid it's different with, for example, you're coming to a store or coming to a restaurant. If you go to a store or restaurant, you see something you don't like, then that's it, you stop coming, right?
Yeah.
And you go to a different restaurant or store. But masjid is different because it's our responsibility to do da'wah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are many forms of da'wah, right? But essentially it's our responsibility to do da'wah. So if there is something that prevent you going to the masjid, for example, something that you don't like or something that you would like but it's not there, don't just keep quiet and then go to a different masjid, for example, but let us know, hey, I don't like this, or hey, I want this, please have it so that we can come. If you let us know, inshallah we'll do our best effort to have it. So that you can come to the masjid. So again, it's our each of us has a responsibility to come to the masjid, to follow the masjid programs. We can do it together.
Okay. So key word is we can do it together, ya Pak.
Inshallah.
Okay. So I thank you Pak for your time, Pak Eka. I wish the best of luck for the team, board of director.
Thank you very much.
And to continue the program. And may it will benefit to all of us, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So for bros and sis, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and give construction comment to hopefully next we can make another new videos that can be better. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Bye.
wabarakatuh.